You are a Bible-believing Christian. What is the reason why you want to celebrate Halloween? And that's me genuinely asking, what do you think are the reasons why? Is it because you have like FOMO, you have a fear of missing out, you want the memories, the images, you want to look back on those pictures with your little ones in their costumes? What exactly is it that you think would make you want to celebrate Halloween? If this is a day on which wicked things are happening, maybe like magicians, witches, psychics, all of those kind of people are gathering together and performing their rituals and possible sacrifices or whatever it is that they do amongst each other, how do you feel participating or being included in a day when all of these things are going on? Just because you decide not to believe in something or you tell yourself that doesn't exist, it doesn't mean that it isn't what it is already. Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. Satan disguises himself. Regardless of whether you believe in him or not, or you don't think he is a part of what you might be celebrating or what you might be doing, you might not even know because he disguises himself, which is very interesting because when you put on a costume and you step out, you can be wearing a mask or whatever it is that you're wearing, you're disguising yourself as well. And that's not me saying that people are disguising themselves like Satan or anything like that. You can't just automatically assume things about people based off of their appearance. You have random people giving your children candy. These are random people that you don't even know, might be knocking on doors. Another thing, why does trick-or-treating happen like at nighttime? I used to live somewhere where there was sort of a curfew or a set time for it. Why is it usually at night? Why doesn't trick-or-treating usually happen during the daytime? And even if it does happen during the daytime, what does that mean? What does trick or treat? Just the words themselves, trick or treat. Is it the kids tricking them? I as a child said it, never really understood why you said it or what it even means. These random people that are handing out candy to your children, you have no idea what their intentions are. Even if you get home and you like supervise or you look over their candy to make sure there's nothing weird in there, you don't know what these people spoke over your candy. You don't know what they were thinking as they were handing it out. The same way that you feel like you might go hard for Jesus and for the Bible or whatever else it is that you might go hard for, always think there are people out there that are going just as hard for whatever is opposing that. The same way that you pray and you worship, base the majority of your decisions based off of whatever it is that you base them off of. There are people that are basing their decisions and everything that they do on their side, which would be the enemies. Children are sponges, and unless if you yourself or someone else around them, I know it happens outside of the household, but unless if you or someone else around them shows them about something or tells them about something, they will most likely either not know about it or they might eventually end up curious. But if you tell them about it beforehand, they might not be as curious or desiring to participate in it as much. If your children are picking up on things from the things that they're watching, then maybe that is up to whoever is watching them to monitor those things more closely. So if your children have no idea what Halloween is and all of a sudden they start knowing, they must be hearing it from somewhere if they're not hearing it for you. And you as a parent, it's your job to make sure that they're not being exposed to those things. In the world that we live in, it might seem impossible to not make it so that they get exposed to certain things, but even if they do, you can talk to them beforehand or explain those things to them so that they don't feel like they might be an outcast or like they will be treated differently for not celebrating something that everybody else is. This is not a video for me to tell you to celebrate something or to not celebrate something. It is more for you to actually sit and think and analyze, what is it that I am participating in and what are the reasons behind it? Are these reasons more like peer pressure or societal things? Or is it actually me desiring to want to be included in this holiday? and what it all entails. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, and this is very spiritual, regardless of whether you are dressing your children or yourself up as a ladybug or as a monster. Many things that might be happening spiritually, even if you're not noticing them or you're not feeling them at that time, that might be going on, whether it's in the atmosphere or in the world, in the environment. Whatever is being created through evil and wicked activities, you will not always see the consequences of those things right away. And another thing, Halloween has to do, maybe not for you personally, but for some people it has to do with like a lot of terror and horror and fear. Do you think those things sound like the light? Fear is not of God. He has not given us a spirit of fear. So participating or including yourself in something that has to do with those things, just really analyze it yourself. That's not me saying it to make you think a certain way. I just think people need to be more curious and need to analyze why they decide to partake in certain things, especially when it's just been handed down either culturally or through generations. Oh, it's just something that we do. Why is it that we do those things? Last thing I forgot to share, maybe like 2 years ago, I had just moved to a new location. I was looking for a church, like a legit church, not like a mega church or a church that is only talking about prosperity and is still kind of trying to mix in with secular things. I was looking for a legitimate church. One of those things for me that was important was a church that would not celebrate Halloween. It was so hard to find a church that would not celebrate Halloween. Either they celebrated Halloween or they still tried to do some sort of like festival or thing that is kind of revolving around that. Kind of shocking to me, the number of churches that actually do participate in like trunk or treat or trick-or-treating. I understand that sometimes certain things have to be done in order to reach those that do not believe. Maybe you have to get into certain environments where those people are located, or you just know that they won't be willing to go to church themselves, and those kind of events, maybe you feel like they draw them in. I for some reason doubt that every single child that showed up, I doubt that they showed up in like a cute, innocent costume. I don't know if that sounds like religious to some people, but if there is one place fear and horror and terror and all of these other things should not be joined with, it's churches. These are just some questions, some of my thoughts. God bless you.